Hey everybody, Cokeman250 here. Well, everybody's gone to bed, and I'm sitting out here at the campsite enjoying the peacefulness God's given me, watching this fire burn, relaxing, just thinking back over years past. Most time when I get alone, you know, I got a lot of peace. Think about my grandpa a lot. My grandpa taught me lots of things. You know, he always said, learn from your mistakes. He always said, if you're going to do it right. And you know, he knew lots of trades. And you know, I got a package in the mail this week from a good friend of mine here on YouTube, POPPREPPER, and sent me a butcher block cutting board. Tell you what, it is true American craftsmanship. And you know, my great grandkids are going to love to use it, and they'll learn the story as I pass it down through my family of how the great American craftsman, POPPREPPER, friend I met online, sent me this wonderful cutting board as they're telling their grandkids and their children. You know, whenever I got that piece in the mail, and I seen, you know, I'd seen them, you know, I seen people get them, you know, here and there on their channels, and I knew there was good work. You know, I know what good work Pop does, and you know, whenever I got it in, it just took me back and really reminded me of the work my grandpa used to do. And I remember when it's probably been at least 20 years ago, when we were making an entertainment, you know, cabinet. It was actually for my parents, and it was made out of oak. And I remember helping my grandpa make it. And you know, I remember helping him stain it and lacquer it, and as he routed out all the things, he used the dovetails and you know, the biscuits, and I don't know all the names of this stuff, but I remember helping him make it, and it was a very quality piece of work, and it's so heavy. And you know, now my daughter has it in her room. And as I pass down that story, now I have another story to pass down on a great piece of American craftsmanship. Things that you don't see a lot anymore. You just don't. You know, how many times does, you know, you look at all the furniture we buy now. Think of the furniture that's in your house. And I'm sure there are great pieces that people have that have been passed down. But I want you to go to a store and look around at the furniture that people are selling. In 50 or 60 years, is that stuff going to be that's going to be the antiques. So you're telling me a piece of junk particle board painted black or covered in black laminate, that's the antiques that our great-grandchildren have to look forward to? Well, no, they ain't got nothing to look forward to, because that piece of junk ain't going to make it nowhere. It ain't going to last. It's going to last like 5 or 6 years, and if you really take care of it, it might last 10 before the little pegs start breaking through the particle board from all the weight of your DVDs and and you know, the weight of your flat screen TV. It's junk. You know, Pop said it in one of his videos, this one of the last ones he made here recently, and he's talking about we live in a throwaway society. Well, we live in such a throwaway society that all we have and all we manufacture and make and buy is junk. The best piece of anything you can buy right now is junk compared to the worst piece of stuff you could buy 50, 60 years ago. You know, I've said before, you know, I've said to myself, and you know, Americans are going to have to live by a lower standard. They're going to have to realize a lower standard of living as the economy, you know, does its thing, or as the economy not getting any better. We got to find a lower standard of living. Well, it's kind of been forced upon us, but the price of that lower standard of living, yeah, it ain't went down with it. But the quality of goods and the quality of service, yeah, that's plummeted. Words to live by, my grandpa always told me. If you're gonna do it right. Learn from your mistakes. You know, it's things that more people should live by. You know, what's more important? The almighty dollar, or your reputation on building something, or the way you do business. Regardless of whether we do it right or not, or if anybody finds out if we're doing it wrong, God always knows. God knows what we're doing. And the challenges still stand, because it's a standing challenge that should be challenged, that everybody should be striving toward or trying, and that's to pray. Pray for whatever bothers you. I know there's lots of problems people are having nowadays, and I really believe that prayer is one of the biggest answers to anybody's problems. And strive to be good, even when nobody's looking. Are you the person everybody thinks they are when nobody's around? I mean, I'm sure we all have something that, you know, we don't let the public, you know, the masses know about us. Some may be worse than others, but the strive for greatness, that's what makes a man, and a human being, a human being. Just depends on what you put your level of greatness at. The level of greatness that I strive for is to be like Jesus Christ. Well, guys, had a good talk. It's been fun. Why don't you guys come join me around the fire again sometime? This is Cokeman250 from the land of the free and the home of the brave. God bless everybody. And remember, prep smarter and pray harder.